Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of my FIFA 18 FUT Champions series, Upgrade to Glory. So the rules for this series are going to be very similar to those of Road to Elite, which was a FIFA 17 FUT Champions series that I have on my channel. Effectively, it is going to be a series that is just completely playing FUT Champions. I'll have two teams that can only be improved dependent on how I perform each weekend in FUT Champions. So I've put on the screen my ultimate aim is to finish top 100, which is incredibly unlikely. So this series should run for the entire run of FIFA 18. So the last series, Road to Elite, was exactly the same in that I could only upgrade my teams based on my performances. The aim for that series was just to get into Elite Monthly, which was achieved, so I wanted to just make it a bit more difficult this time around. So I'll be starting with two full 75 rated teams, so that's every player in every position is a maximum rating of 75, and I put one 75 rated sub, but I'm actually going to have three 75 rated subs as well, as substitutes are really important in FUT Champions this year. So what I'll be doing is I'll be playing through the weekend league, alternating between the two teams. The reason I like having two different teams is because fitness cards cost an absolute fortune, and they don't really seem worth it when you can have two good teams that you just alternate between when one team is short on fitness. So that is how the series will start. So for the first weekend I'll have two 75 rated teams with three 75 rated subs, which will be on the bench for both of those teams. So I'll be playing through FUT Champions, so that's 40 games each weekend. And the way the rules for this series will work is every time I win a match, I get 2 improvement points. So if you haven't seen my Road to Elite series, an improvement point is... so one improvement point would be going from a 75 rated player to a 76 rated player. So the rating... So however many improvement points is how much of a rating change I can give to my team. So every win is going to be 2 improvement points, and every loss is going to be -1 improvement point. So what I'll be doing is every episode will consist of... sorry, not every episode. Every weekend league will be over 2 episodes. I'll be playing through all 40 games, and then at the end of the 40 games I'll count up the total number of improvement points, and I'll apply those points to the team. So to work out the total, you just have to times the number of wins by 2, and then take away however many defeats I had that weekend. So the reason I'm doing 2 improvement points for every win instead of 1 is that would mean I'd have to get 21 wins every weekend just to get 1 improvement point. So the series will just not progress at any pace at all if I did that. So 2 improvement points per win means I think it works out that if I just get 14 wins in a weekend league, I will get to at least improve my team. So just as a quick example of 14 wins, that would be 2 improvement points per win, so that's 28 improvement points. And if I won 14 matches, that would mean I lost 26. So that would be -26 improvement points from the defeats. So you'd finish on 28 minus 26, which is 2 improvement points. So that means I could go improve one player from a 75 to a 77, or I can improve 2 players, both going up to a 76. That's effectively how it works. So the first episode of each weekend, I'll be showing you what teams I have for the upcoming weekend league, and I'll probably show you a couple of highlights for the first few matches. Then in the second episode I'll show you either the final 4 or 5 matches of that weekend, or just a few highlights of the entire weekend, show you how I finish, and then tell you how many improvement points I finish on, and that way you guys could suggest to me any improvements I could make, as long as they fit in with the requirements. So then, and the only other thing to say, I guess, with the rules then, Oh, actually, one other thing is I'll also be showing you my pack rewards for each weekend and month, so they'll probably go in the episode that would be the first episode each weekend, because I'm guessing packs come out on a Thursday like they did last year, but I'm not entirely certain. So effectively I just need to get 14 wins every weekend just to be able to improve my team. So that's the minimum aim, because it's going to be really difficult starting off with the weaker teams to begin with when everyone else has strong teams. So you'll probably have to bear with me for the first few episodes at least, when I probably won't get very many wins at all. But as long as I hit 14, it means I can get a better team for the next weekend and hopefully improve on my previous finishes. So those are the rules for the series. If you need any clarification over them, just let me know in the comments, and I can give you a more detailed description in the comments. So now I may as well show you the two teams that I'll be using for the very first weekend league of FIFA 18. So I wanted at least one team that was a Premier League team, because I like using it. I know it's boring, but I like using Premier League teams where I know all the players, I see them week in, week out. So yeah, I wanted at least one team. The one issue with the Premier League team is they were lacking, as in they didn't have a single 75 rated left wing or left midfielder, so I had to go for a lower rated there, which should only make it more difficult for me when it comes to upgrading the team, as I'm starting with a lower rated player. So I went for a 4-3-2-1 formation in both teams. This is because that is the formation I used when I qualified, so I thought I may as well stick with it, and hopefully it does well for me. So this is the team I went with from the Premier League. I went with McCarthy in goals. There were quite a few 75 rated options in goal for the Premier League. McCarthy just seemed like a nice all-round balanced goalkeeper, which is what I like. I'd rather a goalkeeper with just very similar stats in all of the more important stats, rather than like some really super high ones but then like poor positioning or poor handling. So I've gone for McCarthy in goals. The defence was very easy to pick. Nathan Ake and Christian Cabaselli as two centre-backs were the real standout 75 rated centre-backs. Both got very good pace for centre-backs, so yeah, shouldn't be too bad at centre-back, or even in the entire defence, I should say, because Masuaku is a very good rated stats for a 75 rated card. And we've gone for Scalotto on the right, who I don't think actually gets any game time for Brighton, but FIFA card wise he's got a very decent looking card, so very happy with the defence. The midfield lets the team down a fair bit. When I play a 4-3-2-1 formation, you might have, if you've checked out my squad builder video for the 4-3-2-1 formation, I went through a few little tactics that I like using when I use this formation. So I like the central centre midfielder to be a more defensive player who can just sit back, where the other two centre midfielders will do most of the legwork getting up and down the pitch. So Amati was probably the standout 75 rated centre midfielder from the Premier League in like defensive stats, because he's got decent pace at 73 pace and 86 physical. Could really come in handy. So he'll just sit back more, with the other two players, which are Jake Livermore and Jeff Hendrick. They'll do most of the legwork. Both have got like nice all-round balanced stats. Then we go to the front three. Callum Wilson was the obvious choice up front, as he was probably one of the star players throughout the Road to Elite series. So I definitely wanted to bring him into the team. And then obviously I've already mentioned there wasn't a single 75 rated left winger or left midfielder, so I had to go for a silver. But Damari Gray, 74 rated, has some very decent stats. And then Christian Atsu takes the right forward spot. Again, lots of pace, decent dribbling as well, and hopefully can cause a lot of problems. So that is Team 1, the Premier League team. For the second team, I just went through all the 75 rated players on, I think I used Foothead or Footbin. Don't think it was Footwiz. I went through all the 75 rated players, tried to find the standout players on this game at 75 rated so I could give myself a good chance of winning some games. because the one thing with this series is I don't have to stick to the league of whatever team I start with. So all these players in the Premier League team, I could go for a Bundesliga team next weekend league, as long as the total of the ratings of all the players in the team equals the same, so with the improvement points added on. So when I went looking through the 75 rated players, there were quite a few standout players in the Turkish league, so I thought I'd get a few of them in there and build around them. So the midfield, there was some nice stats here, as we have Arslan, who is a 75 rated inform card, which there's not going to be many of these on FIFA 18. It's got some really nice all-round stats for a 75 rated player. Then we also had Yakuslu, who again, very good stats all round, 75 rated. So they were like two of the standout midfielders at 75 rated and get a strong link to each other. So I thought, why not get some Turkish league players in here? Because then moving up into the front three, we have Castillo on the left forward position with 93 pace and 82 dribbling. Ezekiel goes up front, 92 pace, 74 shooting, not terrible. And then Umar on the right, again 89 pace, 79 dribbling, all from the Turkish league. So there was a nice balance there. The only problem is I looked at building a full Turkish league team then, no 75 rated fullbacks at all. So I thought, if I can get enough strong links with these players, as luckily Yakuslu gets the strong link to Castillo, I could go into a different league, and the Bundesliga was probably the standout league for 75 rated players. So on the right side of centre midfielder, I've gone for Gondorf, who again, if you watch my Road to Elite series, he was one of the starter 75 rated players I used in my second team. So he did a good job, so bring him back for another series. He gets a nice strong link to Gebri Selassie, who's got very decent stats for a 75 rated fullback. We have Bunga into the other centre-back position, who not the greatest centre-back stats wise, but I wanted to get Balogun in, and actually I know there's a strong link. I think Bunga was actually put in because he was the best of the other 75 rated players, not for the strong link at all. It wasn't really needed. So yeah, actually Gondorf did need a strong link, so that's why Balogun had to go on the left side, and then Balogun needed a strong link, so Busman had to come in at left back. Again, stats wise not the greatest for a left back, but he had to come in, he was the only option. And Mvogo is the goalkeeper being used for, well, there weren't many options 75 rated again. So they're the two teams. Also I have the three impact substitutes, which will be used for both teams. We have Nkulma Badu, who I tried to fit into this Super League team, as he's got all those really nice stats, but then there was a lack of fullbacks, so I thought, why not use him as a impact sub. And then we have Biabiani, who is fantastic on every FIFA game, 96 pace. I mean, the other stats don't matter as much when you've got that much pace. So he is going to be the final impact sub, and they're the two teams. So I'll be using both of these teams throughout the weekend league. I can't change them at all this weekend, so it's going to be really tough with some of the teams I'm going to come up against. Not looking forward to it, but I'll reluctantly take 14 wins, because that's at least an improvement. 18 wins is the target for this weekend. I know that doesn't sound very good to you guys. There'll be plenty of other FIFA YouTubers who'll be getting much better than that, so if that's all you're interested in, you may as well go watch them and not watch this series. But this series is about no one will be using a team as weak as this in the weekend league. I'll be surprised if I come up against anyone who has a worse team than me. So that puts me at a massive disadvantage, so if I could just get to 18 wins, it means I'm qualified for next weekend, and I got some improvement points as well that way, so that's going to be the minimum target. 18 wins I would be absolutely thrilled with. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So the way the series is going to work is, the next video I'll either show you a few highlights throughout the weekend, or I'll be showing you like the final 5 matches. I'll show you highlights of the gameplay for that, sorry. I would usually show gameplay in this video as well, but because it's an introductory video for the series, it's going to be too long already, so I didn't want to throw in a load of gameplay as well. So the next video for this series will have gameplay, either highlights, like just a few highlights, or highlights of a couple of matches of this past weekend. Then I'll show you how I finished, show you I'll probably go through the team, how they did for me, my thoughts on them, and tell you how many improvement points I have, or I'm gonna lose, and then you guys could suggest to me some improvements I could make ready for the next weekend, and then I will probably show you I'll show you whatever teams I built the episode after that one, so episode 3. I'll show you whatever teams I've got again for the weekend coming up, as well as my weekly reward packs from the first weekend. So that's the structure of this series. That's how it's going to go. It'll be 2 episodes for every weekend league, and hopefully it'll run throughout FIFA 18. Yeah, I'll be doing other FIFA 18 videos as well, so there should be another video out tomorrow anyway. I hope you guys will be checking that one out. Please leave a like on this video and hit the subscribe button if you're not already. It would mean a massive amount to me. It's just a quick, easy click for you guys that absolutely means everything to us YouTubers. So it would really mean a lot to me if you could do those things. And the only thing left to say, I guess, is thanks for watching this video. I hope you'll be back for not only the second episode of this series, but checking out my other videos as well. Yeah, so thanks for watching guys, and I hope you'll be back again. So cheers.